So why social? I like to think that there are 4 primary reasons for why to use social media. One, it kind of legitimizes your brand for a lot of audiences. People look online to find businesses, and they'll sometimes check it. They'll see a name of something, and they'll look online to see who you are and that you exist and that you're a person or a brand that's producing things that are of quality. So it can really be a legitimizing factor for potential users. It humanizes your brand, so it gives you the opportunity to speak to your customers one-on-one and create a human element to the brand that you're trying to create. It produces trackable results, so you can actually measure what you're trying to accomplish, what your goals are, and build from there. And then 4, it's kind of at this point required to stay competitive for a lot of people. So it's becoming a much greater need for businesses overall to learn how to use social and do a great job. Let's talk about evaluating platforms. The 4 things that I look at when I'm evaluating a platform are what your goals are for your business on social, who your target audiences are, what the content that you can create is, and if you have the budget to reach them. So let's break that down a little bit. So let's say your goal is to reach new audiences and you want to get your name out there. There are certain platforms that are better for that than others. Let's say you want to reach, let's actually use someone's example, a specific example. You're starting a bakery, you said? Awesome, okay. So your goal for your bakery, I'm going to make this up on the spot. Your goal for your bakery is to reach people within your area, and you want people that have a sweet tooth. I hope you do. So your goal is to target people online that have been predisposed to eating sweets, that like sweets, and we want to find a reach of people within your location that you're in. And so you need to figure out what channels to go on. So you'll build a list of different platforms. You'll look at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Snapchat. There's a lot of them, and you'll figure out what makes the most sense for you. If you try and be on every platform, it can be pretty overwhelming. So this isn't a list of everything that you have to do, it's a list of options. And that's, I think, a really important thing to say. If you can't make 100 photos a week or produce great content, it's probably not worth trying to be on every platform all the time, but there are choices that you can make to be really effective. So again, thinking about who your audiences are and what you want to accomplish out of it. So for you, I might say that Facebook and Instagram are great options because it's really easy to target people on those platforms. It's really easy to target people based on what they eat. And also, they're both very visual platforms. So if you're making delicious food that looks really beautiful, it's a great place to show that off and connect with people that would be interested in it. Also, those platforms have an ability to target people based on their location and their interests. So you can target people in the Washington, D.C. area or anywhere that you are as you expand, and look for people that are interested in cookies and cupcakes and cakes and all of your competitors as well. So Georgetown Cupcakes, people that like that page. There's ways of connecting and finding the right people on those platforms. There can be a lot of reasons to target based on age. I work for Boston Beer, so we have to target 21 plus or else it's illegal. And so a lot of times there's a rule that sort of like predicts where you can promote your content. Originally, when I started working for Boston Beer, we weren't legally allowed to promote on Snapchat because the median age of Snapchat was too low, but now it is not. A lot of social is not free anymore, and what I mean by that is a few years ago you could post something on Facebook and a lot of people would see it. Now that's not as much the case. A lot of social is pay to play is what we call it, meaning that if you want to get your content in front of the right eyes, you have to put some money behind it. It doesn't mean that you have to put $10,000 a post. It could be as low as $10, $15 a post when you start. But putting a little money behind it is the best way to get your post in front of the people that you want to see it. And so if you're spending a limited amount of money, which a lot of small businesses when they're starting to do, you want to make sure that you're spending those dollars effectively. And so limiting the audience that you're trying to target to just the right people is really important. So if you're starting, let me use an example, if you're starting a clothing company, and the clothing that you're making is really suited for children, and you're trying to target moms, you might want to limit your age to people, I'm not going to make a judgment here, but like 20 to 55, and you might want to target people that are moms or interested in things that moms are interested in, like diapers or other types of children's clothes, and being able to kind of dwindle it down to the exact target audience that you want to hit, so that when you spend those $10 or $20 or $50, you're limiting it to people that are actually relevant to your brand. A lot of people ask, well, how do I think about those audiences and how do I build those audiences? There's a lot of free tools out there to do it. My personal favorite is on Facebook. It's called Audience Insights. If you go on Facebook and you go to ads, there's a button that literally just says Audience Insights, and you can click on it and search through the demographic information. So you can look at people, set demographic information based on who you're interested in, and look at their other interests as well. And start to play around and learn about your audience that way, and learn about how you can create target audiences for your business. So you can look at people that are interested in baking or fashion or dogs in your area, and then learn about the other things that they're interested in, so you can create content that's relevant to them. Twitter also has this, as well as Instagram. Instagram and Facebook are actually connected. If you are not in the industry, you might not know that Facebook owns Instagram, so they have a connected platform. There's a lot of free ways of doing this that you can access right now from your own Facebook account if you have one. Competitors are a really awesome tool to figure out what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, what you can steal from them a little bit. So if you're opening up I'm going to keep using this example, a bakery in Washington, D.C., you might want to look at other bakeries in Washington, D.C. to see what they're doing online. So looking at Georgetown Cupcake on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and how they're using those platforms, either successfully or not successfully, will help you, understand how to navigate those waters. And one is using platforms that are made for B2B targeting or communication. So LinkedIn would be a great example here. You can look at targeting businesses or people that work at businesses that are relevant. The other is a lot of social is about community, and I think that's what a lot of people who don't work in social think of it as. And I'm sort of like jaded by the fact that I've been working at a social media agency for 5 years. But building community is obviously an essential part of social, and why people join Facebook, why people join Instagram. And so for a lot of companies, a great tactic, and often a free one, is to explore groups or communities on social platforms. So, for example, Facebook groups, if you're starting a fitness organization, looking at running clubs or fitness groups in your area is a great way of connecting with the people that you need to connect with, and also providing them with content and information that's valuable to them, and help them to hear about and trust your business. It's defining what your goals are for social. So they can be radically different. If you are trying to simply connect with other people and create awareness about your new company, that's one goal. If you are trying to actually get people to buy tickets to something, that can be another goal. So really defining and thinking about what you want to do, and they can be different by different platforms. So you can be using Facebook to generate awareness, you can be using Instagram to connect with certain communities, or to actually have people click through to your website. But defining those goals is the most important part. KPIs are key performance indicators that are associated with those goals. So if your goal is, I want to reach 1,000 people a week, new people a week, and make them aware of my business, then your associated key performance indicator would be that your reach is 1,000 and your CPM, which is your cost per reach, is low, or at a certain dollar amount that you can afford. So you can set those KPIs, those key performance indicators, based on what your goals are and what your budget is. When you are thinking about how you're going to come off to other people, defining that is really important. As your business grows, more and more people might be helping you with social. You might not be involved in it after a couple of years if your business is big enough, or after 3 months if you're doing great. You can hire someone to help you out, and having a defined brand voice and aesthetic is really important so that your business doesn't sound disjointed from person to person helping you on social media. And as you grow even further, if you have different stores, being able to connect all of those stores together into one is also really important. And if you're a consultant and you're trying to market yourself, if someone's helping you with social media, even more important because you want your brand voice to sound authentic to you. Defining based on your goals and based on your aesthetic and voice, who you want to reach, and setting those up as specific target audiences for you to keep track of. Next step. And then content buckets. So this is just a trick of the trade to organize the content that you're creating. If you are let's say a gym, and you're starting a gym, if you only have pictures of people that are running, people may not know that you have weightlifting or boxing or spin classes. So you might want to create content buckets around the different things that your gym offers to make sure that you're covering on it on a regular basis and that your content is diverse. You can post however much you can post. There's not necessarily a magic number right now, but you have to think about it from your user's perspective. So if you post 45 tweets a day and your audience is spammed with tweets, they might not want to follow you anymore. If you never hear from you, then they might forget about you a little bit. So we often recommend posting, 3 or 4 times a week on different platforms, just as like a nice little starting cadence. But if you post once a week, it's totally fine. If you post every day, totally fine. You just have to find that magic number for you. And then hashtags in UGC. UGC is a term we use for user-generated content. This speaks really well to the community building aspect that we talked about earlier. If your business is something that can be communicated visually, like a gym, like a bakery, having people that are your users, that are your customers, taking photos for you is a really great way to get content that you haven't taken yourself. It feels very authentic, and you can credit your users for doing so. So having a specific hashtag that your users can tag you with, or a handle that they can tag you with, you can track down their photos of your cookies, of them running in your gym, or after they finish a workout class. They can post it, and you can ask for their permission, and then use it on your pages to showcase how awesome your community is and how great your product is. We talked a little bit about goals and KPIs. These are the 3 most common goals that we use on social. 1 is awareness, so making people know who you are. 2 is engagement, so having people actually connect with you and take some action with your content. And then 3 is direct response. And that is actually getting people to click through to your website. Okay, so community management is an extremely important part of building your audience and the people that will both validate your business and become customers of your business. And I think, to me, having a strong community management and community presence can be extremely helpful in growing your business by word of mouth. If people have a negative interaction with you online when they're asking for help, they can often be immediately turned away from your business, and other people can see that it's public. So having great interaction can be shared as well and can generate a positive reputation of your business. And so there are 3 different things that we tend to prioritize when responding to people. The first is replying to everyone. And by that I mean, don't ignore people that are giving you feedback. If someone says, I really didn't like the cupcake that you had, it didn't taste good to me, instead of ignoring them or blocking them, be public, be approachable, be kind of like if someone was saying it directly to your face. I'm really sorry to hear that. Feel free to email us if you have more information that you want to give us about why you didn't like it. People see that and they feel more comfortable with your brand.